Hello, hello, lovely people of YouTube. I'm going absolutely bonkers today. Just a little bit stir crazy. It's been chucking it down for days now. So, yeah, what can I say? Anyway, I just thought I'd come on and do a live and just see what you're all up to. There's nobody watching at the minute. I'm sure people will jump in accordingly. So if you, as you land, just shout out who you are. Oh, Amanda's in. Hi, Amanda. How are you? So this is me. Just Richard's in. Chris is in. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I'm skiving, guys. I'm on the skive. I have actually got my lunch up. My lunch of choice is a chicken and veg soup. So cheers. That sounds disgusting, but never mind. Yeah, there's been some developments. As you guys probably are well aware, I am not ashamed at all of making a complete brat of myself and sharing that with you. So, hi Leanne, how are you? So the development is, it's a little bit embarrassing actually, but I'm going to tell you anyway. People who have watched this channel for a bit will know that I've been watching. Oh, you got a spanner? You must have had it from last time. That I've been renovating my bedroom, and that's why everything is up in the air around the house. It's just a mess around here. I got my dates mixed up. So in my head, and I've been prepping and doing the work for my fitted bedroom being fitted today, which is Monday, the 7th of February. I got in contact with the bedroom fitters on, I think it was Friday afternoon, to say, what time are you coming on Monday? And he says, well, we'll be landing between sort of like 8 and 8:30. But you do know it's the 7th of March, not the 7th of February. So I then checked back through the messages, and yeah, it was, of course, he was absolutely right. I was just getting way, way ahead of myself. So I've completely ballsed up. So I'm on my mattress in my front room for another month. So this is not good times at all. Who else we got in? Chris, Amanda. Hi Tom Bell, how are you? Handsome devil, yeah. I'll tell you what, I was checking out your denim picture. That sounds creepy. That your picture you put on Instagram earlier. Yeah, I think you're the handsome chap, Tom. And Belle was a looker as well with the big fringe. I mean, not that she isn't now, of course, but stop digging yourself a hole, Dave. Yeah, so that was my cock up. Yeah, oops indeed. Aside from that, I actually went out to a boot sale yesterday. Shock horror. This is my first one of the year. We're into February already, and I'm only just starting to get a boot sales. I need a slap round the chops. So I went to. This is like the cock up calamity is continuing here, because I went to a local one. It's the first time I've been. I only found out about this boot sale. It must have been the early part of last week. Might have been for the weekend before, actually. No, in fact, it was a weekend before, because John Walsh went to it, and a friend of mine went to it. It was really quiet. Apparently, there was only 6 tables and whatnot, but it was chucking it down. But I thought I'll go to that one, and if nothing's happening, see if I can go somewhere else. I went to it, and I was literally the only person there. Literally, it was a marquee on the pub car park, and there was just nobody there. There was a guy walking his dog, like past the pub, and that was it. So that was a bit of a waste of time. So I headed over to Darwin to Unit 17. I've never been there before either, but obviously in this area, boot sales are slim pickings, particularly when it's been hammered down like it has been over the past few days. Yeah, I went over to Unit 17, and that's more of a indoor flea market than a boot sale. So and I got 2 pickups, and one of those was a fail. So I've probably covered my diesel, and that's about it. Nice one. So what's everybody up to today? This is what we need to find out. Hello, Jack. How are you, sir? Been a while since I've seen you. Ready for boot sale season kicking off around here again? Yep, these things happen. Oh, I like the new logo, Amanda. That's cool, that. Your graphics are on point as well for your videos. Loving that. Pete's in. Hello, Pete. So let's get down. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Which one is the local one? It's the Crown, which is... It says Wrightington, but actually it's on a side road between the Wigan Road. I don't know if you know where the White Crow is restaurant. If you go past the White Crow and you go through a bit of a snake past the posh house on the hill, and it's the next right, and basically it's on that road. But like I say, there's just nobody there, unless they just didn't cancel it in time because of the weather, or didn't advertise that they cancelled it. But yeah, I think it's a bit of a damp squib. That pub has got a bit of a checkered past anyway, to be fair. It's going to Accrington yesterday. It was a bit lazy and swamped in stock still. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, I was it was slim picking stock wise for me at the beginning of last week, but people keep giving me stuff, which is great. So yeah, no worries at all, Amanda. I take credit where it's due. To be fair, the video is looking very, very professional and very quickly as well. So yeah, fair play to you. Pete's just listed a CRT TV for 50 quid. Picked it up for £8 plus listing. Yep, I've just sort of like banned myself from picking them up now. And no particular reason. I mean, they do go, but gone are the days where you're getting over 100 quid for a CRT TV. Two things. In fact, I've got a video coming out this week as well. Shock horror. I know. Yeah, I've been really slacking with it. And that is from what happened yesterday, such as it was, and also a pickup that I've got from friends who are getting out of the reselling game. So, like I said, I'm not going to preempt the video, but obviously more people are going to be watching it. Yeah, they're just getting out of the game. In fact, if anybody in the chat is Preston Northwest based, they're after getting shot of everything. I mean, to be fair, I went in a cherry picked, but I've got this new rule of only reselling stuff that's with the listing value of over £10, and I'm trying to stick to that religiously, unless I get something for free and it's sort of like 7 or 8 quid or something like that, and easy listed, easy back, blah blah blah. I might be tempted to sort of like just chuck it on. But aside from that, I'm just going to go with the over £10 thing. But they have got a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that I have no expertise in, like plush, particularly loads of plush. So if anybody in the chat, the loads of board games as well, anybody in the chat, Northwest based, fancy a trip into Preston, wants an introduction, they have a lot of stuff. And it'll be clearing out at very, 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 very cheap money. So give me a shout if you want that introduction. First come, first served. Not in the chat. Just send me a DM on either through the Facebook group or on Instagram. ABL's. Well, if you're not in the Facebook group, you probably won't be able to because you won't find it. So Instagram's probably the best bet. So ABL Reselling on Instagram, and I'll do the introduction. First person who sends me the message, I'll do the introduction. I think I'm not sure if Ian and Susie are active in the Facebook group, but some of you might have already chatted to him. So that's that. New news, other new news. Yesterday, my friend the electrician, in fact, again, from the last but one video, you'll have seen that I sold, what is it called now? It was one of these flatbed presses. Let me just hide that. It's one of these flatbed presses. You put your trousers on, pull it down. Quite a posh thing. A little give in it, and that's sold for 80 quid. The same guy, very good friend of mine. Same guy came back. His mum was having a clear out, loads of clothes and a few other bits and pieces. So I'm on my listing. I've cherry picked those, and the rest is either going to get car booted or offered up to you guys, kind of thing. There's some really nice clothes in there, but again, it's the £10 rule kicking in. There's some not so good stuff as well. Let's end up getting binned, but this all pre-vetted stuff. Other new news: van is sold yesterday. After me panicking that I might have to take a big hit on it. So the story with the van is, you've probably seen me out and about in it in the videos, or obviously if you've bumped into me in the field. In where I live in Chorley, it's kind of horseshoe to the south by the new emissions, the Greater Manchester emission zones that are coming in. Now, I know there's loads of different rumours about this. I suppose officially speaking, it was supposed to be introduced at the end of May. And what it would mean was people with vans that are not, or less than a Euro 6 kind of emissions gubbins, whatever the terminology is, you would need to be charged to go through the Greater Manchester emission zones. And for my van, it would have been £9 a day. So immediately my brain is thinking, this is just taking a piss, basically, because my original plan with the van was to obviously use it for reselling, use it for so I could pick up larger quantities of stuff and larger stuff, but also to convert it into a camper day van, so I could take my grandkids away for weekends and stuff like that, or just get off as and whenever. But because of the introduction of this emission zone thing, even if it does get moved back, I've heard a rumor that it's been put back a year, it's going to make my van not cost effective. It's 2008. I mean, to be fair, for 2008 Transit, it's in really good condition. Miles are relatively low, but it was going to be completely worthless to me, because I head south and into Greater Manchester a lot, sourcing to see family, see friends, and so on and so forth. And because of where I am, I'd actually go through the emission zones, going from my house to the M6, which is 2.5, 3 mile away. So it would have been very expensive very quickly. So it was a waste of time, me even spending the probably upwards about £4 or £5 grand to convert it as well, which is a shame, but hey, there we go. Tell me about what we're saying. Let's catch up on the chat. Nice little sale. My soup's getting cold. Sorry, this is just, I know it's quite disgusting to watch this, but the reason I'm here is because it's a lunchtime Skype. So nice little sale there. Marvel bundle, Disney Infinity 35 plus right. I think I saw those. Are they the ones that they're the ones from your videos? I think I saw you pick those up, Tom. 2 Sholly shopping trolleys to list. Nice. Which carrier is the best to use? I would say, Leanne, go through Parcel to Go and see what comes up. That's probably your safest bet, and see who they place you with for the best price, because you can put the dimensions in and the weight. I would suspect it would be something like Parcel Force or DPD, but if you go directly through Parcel Force and DPD, it can often be a lot more expensive. But if you go through Parcel to Go, or even through Top Cashback to Parcels to Go, then you obviously get your bit of a kickback. I mean, it's not much, to be honest, but if you use Parcel to Go, then you get a little bit of money. And yeah, they'll find you the best price. So hopefully that answers that one for you. More questions. Do they have any gaming bits? The one in Darwin, it just seemed to be a lot of crap, to be honest. There were some bits and pieces there, but the stuff that was even half worth looking at was really quite expensive. So, I mean, if you're in Darwin and you just fancy a mooch, then great. But I wouldn't, personally speaking, I wouldn't make a special trip. Hi, Kath, how you doing? Sounds awesome. Live near Preston. Yeah. Everybody saying hello, hello, hello. Here we go. Nice big estate car is all I'll stick with. Yeah, I've had two Mondeos and they were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, the TDCi engine, which is the engine that was in the Transit, best engine that Ford produced. But I have got a new car. Well, it's new to me. I've got a Dacia Duster. Now, I've always shied away from them because I thought they were just cheap and tacky, but this one is like a special edition one, and it's got like lots of toys on it and things like that, and it drives like a dream. It's a 1.5 turbo diesel, really economical, really nippy, and I was surprised how much of a solid drive it is. So yeah, you'll be seeing me about on that. I've obviously lost a lot of room because it's not a transit van at the end of the day, but yeah, they're cracking cars, absolutely. And I mean, it's only really since I started looking at it that I started. I mean, obviously talking to people about it and getting feedback off other people's, and I haven't heard anybody have a bad word for them. So there you go. You can be wrong. Bradford Council are doing the same spring, trying to reduce CO2. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, this is the thing. I mean, there's you can imagine how many businesses are going to be struggling when this comes in. All of the plasterers, chippies, electricians, all that kind of stuff. One-man bands. It's not just resellers with commercial vehicles. It affects such a broad spectrum of businesses. There's going to be a bloody civil war over it. It's just madness. I mean, obviously, I know that this isn't sort of like forefront news for people who don't live anywhere near the emission zones, but it's only going to get bigger. Those zones are only going to get bigger, and there's going to be more towns that are adopting it. So eventually, it will affect everybody, even if even if you haven't got a commercial vehicle, because you're still going to be relying on people that have that kind of vehicle to come and fix your gutter in, hose your yard, whatever. So and prices are going to go up because people have to pay accordingly. So it's going to affect everybody. So what they're going to do about it? See, I'm torn about this because I know we've got to save the planet. I know we've got to all do a bit to be environmentally friendly and all that kind of stuff, but it's all down to expense at the end of the day. I'm a woman by myself. I can't afford however how many hundreds of maybe even thousands of pounds a year to pay these emission zones, and that's got to come from somewhere. I can't afford it, and I can't afford the I think when I did have a look when I was looking at swapping a vehicle, the vehicles that complied with the new legislation, you're not getting much change out of 15, 16 grand, and it's just impossible for me to do something like that. I just can't justify that kind of expense. So I'm going back to a big car instead. I mean, to be fair, I probably shouldn't have swapped in the first place, but this grand vision of doing this conversion and that act in haste and all that. Yeah, Leanne's going to check out Parcel. I go, yeah, it's definitely worth it. I mean, I've gone back to Packlink now. I did have issues with them last year. Just 1 second. Somebody up the door. There's somebody up the door. Hello. Thank you very much. Nothing exciting. I think it was a return. Yeah, last year I was getting random like £5 or £6 charges from Packlink. Now I check everything before I send it out, obviously weight and dimensions, that kind of stuff, because I want it. It's not so much the fear of being overcharged, although that's a massive pain in the chuff. Is, excuse me, I don't want to let the customers down as well, because that's just bad for reputation, and reputation is the most important thing. It's more important than money in a lot of respects, particularly on eBay. So yeah, I was more concerned about that. So I just moved away from Packlink altogether. I was tempted back. Oh, sorry, when I moved away from Packlink, I went to Parcel to Go through Top Cashback, and in must be about 12 months, give or take, that was with Parcel to Go, I actually earned about £8 or £9. So the extra effort, I'm thinking, was it really worth it? But anyway, there's a little bit. But with Parcel to Go, I still have similar kinds of problems. So it was I was tempted back to Packlink because it's a lot cheaper. Obviously, if you're sending very big or very heavy items, then you've got to kind of farm it out and get best prices from wherever you can get them from. But Packlink have won my business back for that. And touch wood, there's not been any problems so far. It's been about 3 months I've been back with them now. There's not been any problems, but I will keep you up to date if there are any. So, game it's referring to. All right, they've got like a couple of wee bundles, a few bits and pieces, not a vast amount of gaming stuff. It's quite a mix of stuff though. A lot of clothing, yeah, a lot of plush, a lot of board games, that kind of stuff. So if you imagine somebody who never really got past the kind of stuff you pick up when you're getting into reselling, it's that kind of stuff. Yeah, Dutcher Dusters are great. Hi Max, how you doing, my friend? What else is new? I've StreamYard now, Dave, so if you fancy coming on live anytime on Sunday night. Yep, I shall bear that in mind. Thank you very much for the invite. It's dead easy to get your head around as well. I don't know how you're finding it so far, Amanda. Even the free version, it's great. Oh, Shay, I didn't notice that. How you doing, Shay? Jerry tested positive for COVID. Oh, sorry to hear that. There's a lot of it going about. This is for sure. Hope she doesn't suffer any symptoms. But yeah, it's more of a, for most people, it's just more of a pain in the backside than anything else, because you're obviously restricted from doing stuff. So you get the all clear, or you do your time. Love an electric car, but needing a state version or something. Yeah, again, it's down to expense. They're just silly money. I know it's quite commonplace in America that they treat sort of like car finance in the same way that we treat mortgage payments. It's just sort of like part of life. But I've always been extremely anti-debt. So I always look at things in terms of what I can actually afford rather than what I can afford as sort of like a lump sum payment than what I can afford as far as finance is concerned. Because particularly with being self-employed, if I break my legs or take seriously ill, I'm not earning. So I've got to be able to try and work on a worst case scenario basis where my finances are concerned. It doesn't always pan out like that, but Packling one level at a time. Yeah, I do anyway, to be honest, just to check. Because I'm probably way too paranoid about stuff going wrong. So I don't bulk print anything. So it takes longer to do, obviously, but I'm absolutely certain everything's bang on right. Although just recently, another development, it's off the back of the the first wave of auctions that I did. That's something like 100, and it was 102 sales on one day, and I've got 13 or 14 late delivery knocks, all because of the automated. I think I've in the last like 3 years, I've maybe 1 or 2 customer says late delivery, but on from one batch I got 14 late delivery defects. Normally, because I pay for the advanced seller protections, which is like a £5 a month. It's like an optional extra you can add to your account. So I used to have to phone eBay up and say, I've got these like delivery defects. Can you look into it? And like in every single instance, they take the defects down. I don't have to do that anymore. It's automatic, albeit it takes sort of like maybe a couple of weeks or so to do. But these ones, I phoned them yesterday because I had such a lump amount in one go. I phoned them and they said, "Well, we can only remove one." Well, why? They're all from the same batch. Anyway, they're not for having it. It's very much a case of who you talk to and how experienced they are when you're phoning eBay. But I'm hoping they'll just fall off naturally. But as it stands, when you can see if we evaluated your seller level today, I'm just above standard. So for the first time in as many years as I can remember, I'm running the risk of losing my top rated seller just because of that one incident, and it's absolutely not my fault. Parcels to go like pirate ship here. Yeah, it's a comparison site basically. So yeah, you just type in the details and it brings you up a load of options of how you want to send it, different services. I must admit though, I've listening to some resellers from the States and the different charges for different areas in the country and all that. It just seems, I mean, I'm sure once you're into it, you get the hang of it really quickly, but it just seems mind-boggling. Sales, because it's not just the different shipping rates, it's sales tax, it's different from state to state. I mean, I might be talking a little flannel, but it just seems extremely complicated. I don't envy you. Chris, how you doing, my friend? Why won't that load? There we go. Can't be asked with pack link. Yeah, they do decent offers every now and again. Hermes bulk upload super fast, can do 20 parcels in less than 5 minutes. That's tempting. That is tempting. I don't know what it is though. I mean, I quite like labeling stuff to send out. My least favorite job's probably listing, because it gets, unless it's something really exciting on listing, it just gets boring really quickly. But I don't mind the packing up and labeling and all that kind of stuff. I quite enjoy it. It's been quite poorly. I'm really sorry to hear that, love. Yeah. I mean, it's weird how it's affects some people. It really kicks their ass, but others just don't have it at all. Don't have any symptoms at all. If I told my larger parcels of proof of weight at same to UPS, tried several times, they overcharged me worth the extra work on savings. Yeah, I get that. It's a volume thing for me, because particularly in that instance, even if I did keep all the proof of postage, then it would just take forever to find the evidence. And like I say, in the main, I've just either the defects have dropped off when they do the review, or I just phone them up and get to take them off anyway. So it's rare. It's just a pain in the chuff because I've got so many in one go. How you doing, sir? Welcome. I had to pause you for a few minutes, trailing behind. Try the FB business page, Dave. I certainly will, sir. I'll check that out. Oh my word, it is a bit. It's a time check. What time are we on now? Oh, I'm about 3 or 4 minutes behind. very mind-boggling. Just started eBay and shipping was my biggest worry. Not as bad as I thought. Yeah, like I say, don't envy you. Absolute craziness. I did actually look at one point into selling through Amazon in the States, because with Amazon you don't have to live in the country that you're selling in, and you can just ship your inventory direct. So the plan was to send my inventory to a prep center and have them prep it for Amazon, and then just have Amazon just do all the legwork for all the shipping and all that kind of stuff. But there wasn't enough margin. I mean, if you do it at volume, then obviously it's a no-brainer, but I was nowhere near going to be doing the volume to justify the expense of paying the prep center fees and all that kind of stuff. But this time next year, Rodney, will be millionaires, and I'm sure that'll be on the cards. It's a British reference for you there. Could you explain how to sell internationally on eBay, this global shipping program, how it works, and how to get it? I'm new to selling. Cheers, much appreciated, Barry. Hi, Barry. Firstly, welcome. Yeah, it's super simple to use a global shipping program. It's as simple as ticking a box. Now, when I'm doing my listings, I do it all on a laptop. I know you can list on your phone, but I prefer to do it that way. There's more options available. I mean, all the options are there. There's just less steps to get to the options to activate everything. So if you're looking at your listing creation page on eBay, it's just around about where the postage section is. There's just a tick box that says sell internationally through the global shipping program, and you just tick that. If anybody from outside the UK buys that item, then they see, or before they buy, obviously, they see the total price, including international shipping and duties. And all you see is your selling price and your postage price. So when the item sells, you print a postage label as though you were sending it to the UK. The global shipping program headquarters is in Lichfield, so just in the East Midlands. Away on. So you'll put, for example, on a small parcel under 2 kilos, you're looking at £2.90, I think it is the going rate at the moment. You send it to the global shipping program headquarters, so to speak, and they take care of everything else. They ship it to, they relabel it to send internationally. The customer has already paid the duties and the additional postage to eBay. eBay keep that bit, you get your sell price plus postage. And it literally is as simple as ticking a box, and all that happens not normally, and you just send to a UK address rather than direct to the international customer. Highly recommend GSP. Highly recommend it. It's a bit of a pain in the chuff for customers outside the UK because it's quite expensive, but if you're selling stuff that people want, then they're going to buy. So it just adds to the people you're showing your items to. Oh, Rich is in. Hello, sir. I didn't see you pop up. So what else is new? What else can I tell you? Yeah, so that's my cock up. I made a cock up with a bedroom fitting, so I'm still sleeping on the floor for another month. Oh well, I've slept in worse positions, that's for sure. Obviously I mean, it wasn't so much a cock up yesterday with the boot sales because I wasn't to know that it was closed, and to be fair, it was largely about getting in the habit of getting my backside out of bed and getting out of the house at that time on a Sunday morning as well. You may need to get rid of the feedback system or update it because it's so archaic. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're difficult to fight as well. They're difficult to fight if you get any negatives or neutrals. I got. I mean, some people just have bad days and just leave neutral because they can. It does happen. Obviously, in that instance, you can get in touch with eBay and fight your case kind of thing, but it's so bloody time consuming. And I think the most annoying one, I've no negs at the minute, again, touch wood, I don't think I think I might have had one that was removed last year, but that's it. But I've got 5 neutrals, and the latest one was a guy complained that I'd advertised the item as fast postage and it arrived second class. Now, he paid for second class when there's first class and next day delivery options available. And the item was posted within 10 hours of him buying it. So I explained this to him. I said, well, it is fast postage. And you got the service that you paid for. So anyway, that's still on there. But it's sometimes, in fact, with negs, I rarely just argue the toss with the customer because you could quite easily just say, okay, it's negative then, just because you're being a dick, even though you're not. You're just venting. And venting's unprofessional, apparently. But lots more hellos. Without saying, if I think something could be possible international order, or as I said, the dimensions and weight, so the customer's not overcharged. Yeah, that's a good point. That I won't sell internationally unless it's GSP, because GSP is so easy and so straightforward. And obviously, the one thing I didn't actually mention is if you send items through GSP, once it's received at the Global Shipping Program inventory center, then eBay takes responsibility. If anything happens in post, if it gets lost in the post between there and the international customer, if it gets damaged in the post between there and the international customer, eBay takes responsibility, refunds customer, and you keep the value as well. So it's really good in that respect, because obviously you haven't got that kind of protection if you're sending stuff yourself. Yeah, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. That's I highly recommend GSP. It's so well, it's just brilliant. In fact, there's no argument to say I prefer GSP sales than sales in the UK because of those extra protections, and it's no extra work at all. And I've never, not once, had something go missing or delivered late if I've sent it to um, Fradley Park, is it in Lichfield, where GSP headquarters is? Never. It can be a bit annoying when people bid and win overseas. Not if you use GSP. I mean, to be fair, aside from the obvious, the recent sort of like doings with auctions, all my items are buying now anyway. But yeah, I imagine it's difficult if you're trying to work out the costs if you're trying to arrange international postage or shipping yourself. But I just use GSP. It's a no-brainer. It really is. And then, yeah, and just don't sell if it isn't. So I get contacts every now and again for. I think Russia is now part of the GSP sort of like spectrum, but before it was, I used to get loads of messages from Russia saying, "Can you give me a price to ship this out?" And I would just say, "Sorry, this is only available for GSP." It's, I mean, I know it's sort of like turning down business, but to be fair, I'd rather those extremely rare instances. I really rather would turn that business down, and just rely on the ones that I've got the GSP protections. Oh, not rely on it, but because I mean, international sales make up for a very small percentage of most people's business anyway. I would have thought, particularly people at our level. Max told Sarah to start global listing. Good move, mate. Good move. Then when you change it as they haven't checked what it costs, then when you send new invoice for the postage costs and eBay won't allow you to change it. Yeah, well, honestly, using GSP will just solve all those problems because, I mean, they'll either buy off you or they won't buy off you because of the price that they see. It'd be interesting to see actually from from that point of view, how much it actually costs and the breakdown of that, how much eBay charges the buyer for the international leg of the shipping and duties. I suppose it varies from country to country, but from the feedback I've been getting, it's very expensive, relatively speaking. But if people want to buy your stuff, then they'll pay it. Yeah, it's who you speak to. The person I was speaking to yesterday, they seemed very green and they were just working off a script. I don't want to prejudge, but this is just personal experience, and I'm not. There's no sort of like statement I'm making in saying this, but every time that I've spoken to somebody in Ireland, it's been a lot less friction as far as getting a resolution is concerned. Sometimes it hasn't gone my way. Most of the time it has. But if you're talking to people from Ireland, generally speaking, they kind of get your intent a little bit more. There's less lost in translation. Like I said, I'm not making any kind of casting any aspersions there or anything like that. It's just literally my experience. But again, it can be as easy as talking to people who have varying levels of experience within eBay. Obviously, people are a little bit longer in the tooth, have had more experience with instances that we go through, that real resellers go through, and based on their own performance and metrics, can make a qualified decision that actually, yeah, this is in all likelihood, this reseller has done everything they possibly can to satisfy this buyer, and then sort of like side with you basically. Negatives barely affect sales. Got 11 negatives in the past year and don't blink an item. Only one of them is genuine, and that was my fault. I hope you fought them, Jack. I hope you fought them. I mean, I think I'm partly OCD as well, to be honest. So the neutrals that I've got are just bugging me, and it's bugging me that they take 12 months to fall off as well. So I'm kind of thinking, oh, I just like everything to be so. I only offer JSP as well. Yeah, smart move, Leanne. It really is. Couldn't agree more about JSP. I've sent a very rare version of expensive Pink Floyd vinyl album. It arrived in Russia damaged. eBay stepped in and refunded fully. Yeah, brilliant. One thing as well, this is absolutely an accidental kind of. I shouldn't really be saying this. Should I tell you this? Yeah, I probably should, because this was completely innocent. And I kind of, it turns out it was a potential kind of loophole in the system. This one must have been going on for 2 years ago now. I picked up a load of vintage fur coats. These are real fur coats like minks and stuff like that. Something that either a pimp would wear or your gran in the 60s. And they were quite popular in the States, and I sold about 3 in really quick succession through GSP to the States, and every single one of them got stopped at customs on the US side and refused entry into the country because they were animal skins basically, and for whatever reason, for that reason, I think they just wouldn't pass through customs. Anyway, eBay instantly refunded the buyer with an explanation of what was happened, and told me the same thing, and I kept the sell price. But I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I mean, obviously I won't do it again, or I'll take the GSP sort of like option off the listings I had left. But I'm thinking that's a loophole there. If somebody wanted to take the mickey, I certainly wouldn't recommend it to anybody took the piss like that. But just sort of like a loophole of the system that kind of cropped up accidentally. And a message from a potential asking if the camera doesn't come with. And a message from a potential asking if the camera doesn't come with a battery, how can it be tested and working? Message back and asked her to reread the listing because it comes with a battery. Yeah. It's really hard to be professional and polite with some people because you get asked some stupid ass questions. Yeah, well, I mean, the reason GSP is such a no-brainer is because it's so seamless. You get more protections than if you were selling to a buyer in the UK. It doesn't cost you any more, and you just increasing that percentage. I mean, because of like I was saying, I'm repeating myself a little bit here now. Because of the expenses for the buyer, it has dropped off a cliff. Before Brexit, there was certainly a greater percentage of GSP sales into Europe before Brexit than after. But again, I mean, why wouldn't you sort of like advertise your products to more people if it's not even a second thought for you? Not a pain in the chuff at all. And do you reckon eBay would pick up? I think the simple answer to that is if you list products people want to buy regularly, that's exactly when it will pick up. So I'm being really flippant there, Farouk. I apologize. Yeah, just keep at it. eBay rewards consistency. If you're consistently listing, if you're listing stuff that people actually want to buy, then you'll make the sales. There's no sort of like magic formula to it. It's you that has to put the effort in. Sarah sold the wife's. Oh, stole the wife's phone. Sorry if I sold your wife's phone. Does she know? Had a GSP issue a few months back. Chap received an item, the package was damaged. He messaged saying he wasn't happy and pretty much demanded a postage refund, which I did, £3.95. Sometimes with stuff like that, I've had a couple just recently, but in fact, it was off the back of those auction sales. I've had more problems with those than any other operations that I've been going through. Sometimes you just write off and move on and just block them from buying you again. If I'm pretty liberal with blocking people if I think that, even if I suspect that they're taking the piss, because there's other people, there's millions of other people I can sell to. And if there's a small likelihood that this person's taking the piss, then just block them and move on. Negative feedback, same page, 17 large post here, only £3.95. I'd get in touch with eBay on that, because you'll never see your £3.95 back, but you'd probably get the negative removed, because, like I said before, eBay take responsibility for items between the UK fulfillment center and the buyer's address. So it's worthwhile getting onto them to even if it's just to get rid of your neg. More messages. I'm going to wrap this up. My soup's gone cold. He's going to have to get zapped. Just smile and wave. A great deal you can do about some things. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just if you get stressed over the little things, then honestly, reselling is not a game to be in, because it can be stressful at times, particularly lots of little stressful things. Find it weird off my international and GSP. Yeah, I get plenty of GSP sales, even though they're paying more than my own shipping. Yeah, and it's a better service for you. Might be something to think about, that, Jack. I'm listening. We got ready for work. So it's only for a few minutes. No bother. Have a good shift. Don't like GSP. It's just another way to eBay to get more money, as if they don't already make enough. I charge flat delivery for overseas orders and make myself a £10 or £15 on top of an item sale. Yeah. I've heard lots of people say eBay's expensive, but to be fair, it costs you a lot more to set up an eBay yourself and be successful with it. So don't sell on eBay. Yeah, it's quite expensive, but there's a reason for that. They're opening a marketplace here that's is global, it's vast. There's so many people with the potential of looking at your items. Um, one thing I'd say on that is just concentrate on your margins rather than how much eBay is charging you, and monitor your margins. It's a better way to look at it, I've found. So the children's book for £10 eBay via JSP, another £44 on top for it to go to the UK. I know, yeah, it's crazy, and it's absolutely crazy. You really feel sorry for them. There's a few people have sent me messages saying, "Is there anything you can do at all with your?" They get it. They do get it in a lot of instances. Is there anything that you can do with your bit of the postage or the cost of the item? Because this is how much it's costing me. And I'm kind of thinking, oh mate, I'm really, really sorry about this. And obviously you got to make the call accordingly. Because they've been decent like that, if I can, I will. Even if it's like a few quid kind of thing, just to try and trim it up for them. But ultimately, if they're making that contact in the first place, they really want what you're selling. So it's up to you to, I don't know, how much of a good mood you're feeling on the day, I suppose. Yeah, get into it, Amanda. Have a good day. Hope you've made loads of sales on the weekend. Jack, it's not possible to offer both shippings. One overrides the other there you go. I didn't know that. This is the advantage of having a professional in the house. So Chris is saying that if you have GSP selected, it overrides your own international shipping options. I didn't know that. Well, there you go. I'm always amazed what people pay for GSP shipping when I sell something for £10, they pay 45. Yep, it's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. Here we go. I'm going to fly through these now. What bugs me now is you can't leave bad feedback for buyers. Although I get it from eBay's perspective. Yeah, I don't know why you would, to be honest, because it's just dummy spitting out, really. Just again, if you're motivated to leave bad feedback for a buyer, then you've got to be thinking, well, why am I letting it stress me out? Why just these things happen and all the rest of it? I mean, people it's almost an irrelevance as well, because other sellers don't read the feedback levels of the buyers. They just want to make the sale, and people either pay or they don't, and then they have their own experience. So yeah, just what is it from Lion King? Put the past in your behind. Just move on. Don't wear the stress, because all those tiny little bits of stress, after a while, they'll just knock you on your ass, and you'll think, how the bloody hell did that happen? Send full prop guns to America through my mate's shipping company at Power Studios, selling international stuff through him if it's worth it. Stop eBay ripping people off. Yeah. It's I know it's expensive. It really is expensive, but I try and just keep my mind in the mindset of, well, would that buyer have found you anyway? And largely, the chances are they probably wouldn't. Never sold anything on JSP. No one aboard wants my stuff. Kath, honestly, it costs you nothing to do, and it's so simple. You can bulk change all your listings to do it. Just try it. Just try it. You might make 2 or 3 sales a month, say, through GSP, but you would never have had those sales if it wasn't on. It's cost you like a couple of minutes on your time to change all of your listings, and it'd be really interesting to see how you get on with it. So give it a shot. Nothing to lose. So the still Manchester United having a play against America, sell a lot through GSP. Yeah, I think that's where most of Manchester United fans are, aren't they? I know I'm not into football at all, but that's an old joke. Right, I'm getting to the end of the chat. I'm going to wrap it up so I can reheat my soup. Into the Badlands flag at the Germany GSP today. What is that, Rich? Is that a game or something? or film. Interesting. Patsy said, guys, watch me live there. Can't type live as working but listening. No problem at all. I've done nearly an hour now as well, which I'm not surprised my bloody suit's gone cold. I do have GPSP switch on, Dave. No one wants to. Oh, right. I see. I got you. That's it. Well, if I lived in another country, Kath, I'd definitely buy off you because I think you're lovely. TV series Into the Balance. Ah, there you go. I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of films. And everything I watch on TV turns out to be crap. I like Hemlock Grove. Last comment, and then I'll wind it up. Feedback never gets me stressed. It never puts me off buying from someone with 1 or 4 bad feedbacks. Just look at the replies. Yeah, absolutely. So I think it'll for me, it's all down to the stress levels. Not worth the hassle of bogging yourself down with stress. Right, my lovely people, I shall see you very soon. I've got a video coming out on Saturday, my experiences over the weekend, such as they were, and I'm going to be trying to step it up again. I'll get at least 1 video out a week and try and do at least 1 live a week. So don't nail me to the cross if it doesn't happen, because as you can see, and because of the cock up I explained earlier, I've got another month of living with my house being upside down, but hey ho, we live and learn. Love you lots, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.